Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod. I'm Danny Vega, joined by returning guests Carla Espino and Radu Bandar.
Yes.
Folks, we're here, and it's good. Excited to have you guys back. A little funny. You guys are funny folks.
Oh.
Thanks.
Funny ones. Yeah, I got my surgery. Thanks for checking up on me, all of you who did. I'm different now. I got 2 nostrils. I mean, my brain is still like, you have 1 nostril, bro.
Really?
Yeah, I still wake up mouth breathing. So I kind of wake up with a sore throat. But pretty soon my brain's going to get woke to
Why
the
don't you
fact.
get mouth tape?
I think I'm just going to probably let the surgery heal naturally before I start going hostage mode on myself. I don't know.
That is one of my favorite things. People are like, oh yeah, I figured out how to sleep. I just have to tape my whole face shut.
Oh my God, I've
Yeah.
seen that. Yeah, it's crazy.
Does that work? I mean, people have said it, or somebody told me that it works.
Absolutely. For a few of my friends.
You force yourself to breathe through your nose. I hope I don't have to force it, but I could now. Before I didn't have a nostril. But yeah, I can't blow my nose either. So just realize there is a privilege to blowing a snot rocket. Okay?
Well, you still can do one out of the other one, can't you?
No.
Oh.
No blowing of any kind.
Just sucking.
Cocaine's fine though. I am allowed to do up to a gram per day. I have no idea if that's a lot.
It's an
That'll-
LA
that'll
doctor,
clear
so they
it.
just told you no matter what.
He's like, a gram a day is fine.
That'll clear you right up.
But yeah, you guys said you had stories. My story is I was at the park with my friend. Who was I at the park with? I don't even remember. And I just went like, whoa! And she's like, what? And I was like, I've never seen this many ducks together at night. And she was like, I don't even know how to react to that. And I
At
was like,
night
"That's fair."
specifically?
Yeah, there was like a large gathering of the ducks.
Yeah.
Usually they tend to be in just small, like 6 ducks max. And this is like 15 ducks. And there's not that many ducks at Echo Park. There might be 15 ducks at Echo Park Lake.
Cool.
So this is my story. This is how boring I am now.
You
Quack.
had like the same reaction I had when I saw the Pope in real life. I'm like, is that the guy? Yeah.
You saw the Pope in real life?
I did.
Very cool.
January 1st.
Was he of what year?
It was like 2015 or 2016 or something, but it was, we didn't mean to see him. We were in Rome for New Year's.
Yeah.
And then we were like, not even hungover because we were sober at the time, but just like, you're like the day after New Year's, like looking for brunch at like 2 p.m. or whatever.
yeah.
And part of the Pope's job is to bless this one church in Rome because he's like the leader of all Catholics and also the Bishop of Rome. He's got like,
yeah.
it's like if the president
That's
of the
cute.
U.S. was president of the United States and also the mayor of D.C.
Yeah.
He has to go
I
do
love
like
that for him.
fight with the aldermen or whatever. So we weren't like looking for we were just like looking for shitty coffee and panini and happened to see a massive crowd of people. I was like, what is that? They're like, Papa. I was like,
El Papa?
Papa.
the
I
guy?
love that. It makes him sound like a potato.
Yeah.
Was he in the Mobile?
No, he was in the church.
Raw
He
dogging.
came out for a second. He did, papal wave and went back inside and did,
It annoys
Whatever.
me that they use that Pope Mobile because I'm like, can't we just get a high enough level priest where he has like bullet blocking? Like, that's crazy. Why is he so underpowered? Like, he should be grinding in the
I
forest.
feel like I stole your
Oh my
story, by the way,
gosh.
about the dog.
No, I like your Pope story.
It was not good.
Cool. El Papa.
I name dropped the Pope.
El Papa. What Pope?
NBD just saw Francis at brunch.
Is it Francis now?
It is Fred.
Who is it?
Yeah.
No, I didn't
The
see.
Pope is so epic because the president changes every 4 years, and the Pope is like, every 22 years, your mom has big news. You know?
I like this Pope for whatever it's worth, but
I always like John Paul II because I was just like, that's just something sick about
He got shot, dude.
Did he get shot?
Remember?
No.
Yeah, he was the guy before the German Pope, before Benedict
Yes,
Ratzinger.
Benedict, yeah.
John Paul II got shot in Mexico or something like that.
Jeez.
And then like
Wow.
They
famous.
didn't even know he was the Pope. They're just like, oh,
accident.
shit.
Famously, there's like a picture of him talking to his
Yeah.
assassin or whatever, and like the guy like converted to Christianity. And, like, all kinds of-
Wow.
Oh, my God.
It's one of the most, if you
Wow.
believe in Catholicism, like that picture should be up there in your house.
Yeah.
shooting the Pope is 100% the way to go to hell.
But think about it. So many people have shot presidents.
Yeah,
Only
but
one guy has shot the
presidents-
Pope, and we don't even know his name. Like,
Wow. he
I know
didn't
Sirhan. He didn't even shoot a president.
Who's
He shot,
Sirhan?
shot Bobby Kennedy.
Oh,
Who's the Palestinian guy that
cut.
killed RFK's dad.
wow. You're good at that
He
history.
just has two
Yeah, he's
names.
very-
That's
he
why
He knows
it's
a lot
funny.
about the past, huh?
All assassins have three names except for Sirhan, who has
Sirhan.
one.
He has one.
He's
Yeah,
one name
effectively
twice.
one. Anyway, so what you said you had a story.
So I'm going to San Francisco Sketch Fest this weekend, which this obviously is probably going to come out after that.
Oh, I thought it was already happened.
It is. It's like a 2 or
2 week.
3 week. Yeah, I think it's
nice,
2 weeks
nice.
long.
Cool.
So we're performing with my sketch team,
Love
which is
it.
exciting. But I wanted to tell this story because I was thinking about it. One of the sketches that we're doing at the show, it's called One Nice Picture. Harry Valentine, who's on the team, wrote it, and it's essentially about this family who comes into a photo studio and they're a mess. It's like
Okay.
this family, and the photographer is like, all right, everybody, like, Cunningham family, come on in. It says here in the notes, like, you just want one nice picture for once. And then the mom is like, just one nice picture. And they're like, I'm guessing that note's from you. So he like gathers the people to take the picture, and right before the picture's taken, the daughter just starts hysterically crying, and the whole bit is that they just left their grandmother's funeral before coming to take this one nice picture, and it just like it snowballs into this crazy family.
Can we just one
So,
just one time?
just one picture, just smile once. And so we did this sketch over a year ago. I guess it's been a year and a half now. And the first day we were supposed to ever perform it, I got casted as the crying girl in it. And the day so like 2 weeks prior to our show, but the day of our show, that morning, my mom calls me and she's like, your grandmother's not going to make it through the night.
No.
And I was like, are you
you
fucking
shitting me?
hitting me right now?
The curse of the role.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my God. So I like obviously was very upset and I kept it to myself. But
Yeah.
like through the role was just like, how am I supposed to perform this role right now of a girl crying as if she just left her grandmother's funeral and like my grandmother's possibly dying right now as I'm performing this. It was very dark. And if there's any proof that the universe has a sick sense of humor, that's it.
That's it.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That is-
I've performed it many times since then. And now it's like I've had space from that. But like,
Yeah.
yeah, so we're performing that sketch this weekend. And I just always think about my grandmother. I'm like, Abuela.
I can't tell if
Rest
that's
in
cool or
peace.
crazy. You have something to tap into that nobody else does.
That's-
Yeah.
I kept wanting to call method acting missionary position. I'm not sure. I wanted to be like, that's really missionary position. And I was like, there's no way that's what that is.
You're such an extractor, Danny.
Oh my God. my friend Lance, shout out to Lance, dropped that term on me because we're tired of emotional vampire. We're tired of narcissist.
Succubus.
Extractor. I like it.
I'm an emotional capitalist. That's my
Ooh,
thing.
how does that work?
I'm here to steal your value.
Oh,
an emotional-
extract your value.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of giving
I'm an emotional communist.
unionize. Oh,
There we go.
Cuba.
distribute. Hey, don't go there with me. All right. Well, okay.
So that was my story. It wasn't
like
much
it.
of a story, but
No, it was good.
more of a
No, I
fun
liked it.
fact about
I did
me.
like
It was good. It was good.
I disassociated for a second where I was like, wait, really? The universe did that to you?
Right. It's fucked up.
I mean, sometimes I feel like the universe has a sick sense of humor. I just think of that in terms of like sometimes bad things happen. I'm just like, well, what am I gonna do? I just have to laugh. It must be funny because if it's not that, then it's horrible. You know?
Yeah.
It's like
Sometimes
a-
in the moment it's a little
cope.
hard,
It's
but
cope.
yeah, you cope with it. Laughter's medicine.
Laughter's medicine.
And I'm a goddamn surgeon.
There we go. I'll show you guys.
Okay, what's your
Yeah, here
story?
we go.
Mine is about ticket scalping. You guys ever bought tickets from a scalper?
I don't think I bought fake SD cards off Amazon.
Ooh.
And yeah.
Well, that's the big worry, right? Everyone's like, well, are they real or fake? Most of the time when you're at a sporting event, they're real. If you're buying them from a guy standing out in front of the stadium, they're usually real.
okay.
But the way it works is like there's this like weird market, right? They have, a $400 ticket or something. And they're like,
Yeah.
come on, man, you want it. It's all sold out, no tickets. And they're like kind of harassing you. And then so your market position is to be like, that's not worth $400
So you people will go to the game
with no tickets.
with the intent to
Yes.
buy tickets.
I've done
That
this.
just seems so crazy.
I've
to
done this
me.
probably 30 times.
Really?
Yeah. I've gotten into everything except for like the World Series or a Super Bowl. I've gotten into massive playoff games, all kinds of stuff, which is like
Okay.
no ticket. Because here's what it is. That guy's got a bunch of tickets that he's bought, months before when the season started.
Okay.
And then after the first few minutes of the game, he's got fruit that's rotting in his hand, basically. First, he had a $400 courtside ticket. Now it's like that's the halfway point of the game. Like, I'll give you $6.
Yeah.
That's what the whole gimmick
it's
is.
worth nothing soon.
You're sitting there waiting for them, and they're like, "Come on, man! I know what I have. I'm not gonna fucking." And you're like, "Okay, I'll see." You just walk around. You're like, "If I can't buy from you, I'm just gonna walk into that bar and watch the game over there." So I'm doing this with a friend one time, and he can't believe because these are like nefarious characters. Let's say if you've ever seen a ticket scalper, I don't care what city you're in, what country, they're always the same sort of like, how many coats are you wearing right now? You know, like one of those kind of situations. The guys
What's the matter to you?
Guys that used to sell watches out of their jacket. It's that guy.
Trench
now.
coat.
Yeah. So they're like, I got tickets. And I'm like, how much? And one guy's like, this much. I'm like, I got $20. Like, I'll say stuff like that to them. And they'll just start swearing at me. They're just like, fuck you, get out of here. Like, and I'm like, okay, let me know. My 20 is still here when you're done. I'm going to go stand by the police over there or something, you know?
Babu the low baller.
So I'm doing that. And then the first quarter starts.
Fourth quarter?
First quarter.
First quarter.
So
okay.
now the action's on. People are like, you know, they're going from $400 tickets to like, I'll let this go for $250. And I was like, I still have $20. I'm just like telling this one guy. And he's finally like, come on, man, you got more. And I was like, I'll give you $60. And he's about to do
courtside?
It's not courtside. They're like, so good. They're like maybe a few rows up.
That's great.
It's crazy. We're trying to see
great.
like Zion Williamson in his first year playing. I don't know if it's New Year's Day. It's one of those like
His
cool,
name's Zion?
Yeah, he's a great basketball player.
Okay.
We wanted to see him up person. And I'm giving I gave the guy $120 already, and I look at the tickets and they're so good. I go, now how do I know these are real? Just I don't know why. Just one more time I'm turning the knife. And he goes, you don't think those tickets are real? Give them back. And I was like, no, I put them behind my back.
Yeah.
I was like, we've done the transaction. And the guy just picks me up and like steals the tickets off me, takes the 120, like puts it in my pocket here. And he's like, get out of here. And I was like, I couldn't believe that it happened. But my friend couldn't believe much more. He was like, why were you such an asshole to this guy? I was like, that's the whole gimmick is like, you bend but don't break. You know, it's like, I'm negotiating with him. He's negotiating. It's not fun.
Yeah.
So then we end up getting in for like $10 or something, but it's like nosebleeds. And we see the guys they just went inside and enjoyed the tickets. It was something ticket scalpers rarely do.
He just used them for himself.
He couldn't sell.
Wow.
Yeah, he's like,
know a lot
that's
about
how much
this.
he hated me.
Yeah.
Well, because we saw where they were. They were like
irked him.
3 or 4 rows up. They were going to be the best tickets I'd ever gotten to a regular season game or something. But yeah, we just saw them there, not having any fun, just kind of looking around. They probably know more basketball than I do in any capacity. But they're like, I'm here to make money. I'm not here to watch a guy hoop. So it was the hubris of my actions got me right under, like right 95% of the way, and then just pulled forth.
You screwed yourself.
Yeah.
Gotta be
and
a little
your friend.
And my friend. Yeah, my friend the entire time did not believe in the process at all. So
The process was 100% legit. It was just you botched it.
I went to, you're supposed to be a bit of an asshole. You got no one to fold.
Yeah, I feel like this is a good example of like you are the asshole, but like your punishment was instantly enacted.
Instantly.
Karma.
You know?
Instant karma.
But
Also, I was a
really-
mask. The guy picked me up and like stole the tickets back like nothing. I didn't even realize what happened by the time I was down on the ground.
He picked you up.
the only better outcome was if he went in with your friend.
Yeah, you're my friend now. But I also hate how he wasn't even happy. It's like you really kind of like,
Because we were the last sale, man.
yeah,
Like,
you toyed his ego so hard that you made him do something that he himself hated. Like, it's so weird.
he just didn't want to
It's really
lose
funny.
money on it. He was like, fine. Or not even lose money. He wanted to break even maybe or something.
Yeah.
And he was like, that's how much I hate you. I'll lose money
I'll
on
lose
this.
money.
Like,
And then he's sitting there like, I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah,
This is
yeah.
really stupid.
should have let that loser
funny.
watch his basketball.
You should have just gone up to him there. And been like,
We were watching them because we were hoping that they would leave after the halfway mark, and then we just go sit in those seats anyway.
Oh my God.
That's so funny.
Well, speaking of money, we kind of got a couple of money situations for you guys and a listener submission I picked up here. So thanks much for listening. Please rate, review, and subscribe. Please do it. Can you guys beg for me? Because they don't do it.
We'll do some
just
begging.
subscribe. What
Get
are you
on
doing?
Patreon.
If you don't do it, oh my God, you don't want to even know the outcome.
You know how aggressive Radu can be.
Yeah, we'll get Babu Bandar on your ass. Babu the low baller. Get on Patreon, guys.
Listen, if not Patreon, subscribing is free, liking is free, sharing is free. It's all free support. It's literally the least you could do.
It's the least you could do. I work
Should we just shame them into
my
it?
little hiney off. Yeah. And stop picking your nose. I'm allowed to because I had surgery, but not you. Get a tissue. That's gross. No, I'm just kidding. It's fine. If you're alone, it's fine to pick your nose. Come on. There's things in there that have to be dug.
It's like heroin.
Do the work.
Yeah.
Best
It's
feeling.
nice. We do not endorse purchasing from scalpers, nor heroin use, nor cocaine, just to be crystal clear. You really do that much, huh? You're always buying. Have
Yeah,
you bought fake tickets?
I've never once. That's probably the most insidious part of it is like I've never been burned. I've heard about it.
Yeah.
Anybody could probably just print out like 40 copies and be like, yeah, here, because they're paper tickets. They're like
yeah.
made on a copier. But for me, no, I've not even once have been run afoul. Like it's always worked out.
Wow.
On the internet, on Craigslist, when someone's like, let's meet up, you're like, nah, it's not going to work.
Right.
Got
Yeah,
it.
that's
They
a
have
red
to be
flag.
there.
They
That
gotta be
shows they're
there.
willing to do it.
Yes.
All right, guys. Our second story of the day. AITA. Oh, no, we do have 3 money situations. Would I be the asshole if I, 34M, pay off the mortgage without telling my wife? Radu has a wife, so he can vouch for
It's
that.
a good one.
Carla and I are single as hell. That's okay.
Yeah.
But first, folks.
Are we going to do guess the verdict?
Oh, and we're going to do guess the verdict first. Just kidding. Good call.
But real first.
Okay, I'll go first.
Did all this work?
AITA for throwing my wife's pillow out of the room. Again, AITA for throwing my wife's pillow out of the room.
I am probably going to assume they're not the asshole. If
Not
they
the
have- If they have
asshole.
to. There's some.
Not the asshole is correct.
Yay!
Well done, squad. Basically, they have a toddler, and the toddler co-sleeps with them. And the wife is one of those people who takes up like 3/4 of the bed. And he's kind of like, yeah, you're like kind of taking up a lot of the bed. And she's like, it's my pillow. It's the pillow. And then so he angrily throws the pillow out.
So he is the asshole?
No, because she
No.
was taking up a lot of the bed and was like denying it, kind of like gaslighting him. And then Builder Wide writes, NTA, your wife is the issue here. When you try to communicate with her about having more space, she brushes you off and then makes jokes. So she clearly wasn't listening.
Yeah.
She's a bad hog.
Also, get your kid out of there.
Yeah, the co-sleeping thing always made me uncomfortable. I don't know what that's about, but people do it.
Co-sleeping. It's not just sleeping.
It's just like sleeping with
Yeah,
your
I guess you're
kid.
right.
You're making every word softer.
Yeah, co-sleep. I don't want to be sleeping with any kind of animal or baby or nothing. Or
I'd be
baby
too
animal.
scared. I'd be too scared.
I know.
Yeah, I'll
That's my
kick 'em.
ultimate fear is just waking up on a smushed baby.
Oh my God, yes.
Using the
Rolling
baby as a
over.
pillow. and shit.
Oh no. Am I the asshole, AITA, for laughing when my friend told me the baby name they picked?
Oh, we've gone down these roads many times. I mean, typically that's like if they laugh, then it's probably funny. It's probably something really like, Donald Trump or some horrible. No, it's not literally that.
It's so rare though nowadays. My instinct is like most of the time they're an asshole, unless you're like, this is my baby, Stalin, Hitler, and then you're like,
yeah.
I guess I gotta laugh. It's just not
Yeah, what are you
screaming.
gonna do? No, it's usually like a Twilight name or some like popular franchise. I'm very culturally illiterate nowadays, and Babu only knows about history. I'm trying to guess what it could
Only
What's a funny historical name it could be? Like Amelia
V.I.
Earhart.
Lenin.
I'm going to say it's not the asshole. I think they really chose a ridiculous name, and Reddit was like, yeah, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's my baby, Ivan the Terrible.
Yeah, what a bad
Yeah.
name. What do you think?
Yeah, probably asshole though.
It is ESH.
Ooh.
Everybody sucks here. 2 friends, been friends since middle school. One of them got pregnant. Before she decided on a name, the 2 friends bonded over all the crazy names that people are naming their kids these days.
Yeah,
It's a thing,
okay.
acknowledging it. And then when she finds out her friend's actual baby name, it's like a sci-fi-esque. So something straight out of Genshin Impact or Skyrim.
What is it?
They said not the real name, but think Zephyr Rocket or Banjo Fox.
Banjo Fox?
So when she said the name, she laughed, like just reaction wise,
Yeah,
and then was
yeah.
like, "Oh, is that really the name?" And then the friend got really upset.
Yeah, it's Banjo Fox. Is that funny? Is that funny? Is it funny to you to think of an instrument usually played by a redneck in the woods and a fox? Is that funny?
Yeah, we named the baby Guantanamo. What? Your daughter's name is Dakota. That's a place.
Okay, this is the title. New guy at work. A major pizza chain asks in the group work chat for $500 and will pay back $550 to anyone willing to give him money.
Say that one more time for me.
New guy at work. A major pizza chain asks in the group work chat for $500 and will pay back $550 to anyone willing to give him money.
I'm confused.
Who's the asshole for what?
New guy at work. A major pizza chain asks in the group work chat. And bonus point if you guess what state this was in.
Okay, people borrowing money.
My guess is that
I'm going
So
Appalachian.
the OP is saying. So OP is not asking for the money. He's saying someone in their group chat asked for the money. So the person, are we giving the asshole rating based on OP?
To the guy asking, I think.
Okay.
The guy asking for money.
I would say
No, not the guy asking for money.
Oh,
OP.
really?
I'm giving you a clue there, but yeah, new guy at work asks in the group work chat. So OP is not that guy.
right, but we're rating OP.
Yeah, what is he an asshole for? Giving money? Not
I'm gonna
giving
go.
money?
You're
One of
the asshole.
challenges. Okay.
Wow. Okay, this is a very tricky one. I'm gonna go
And
ESH
Florida.
here.
You're going to go ESH and Florida. What are you going to say?
ESH Pennsylvania.
Carla is right about the state.
Oh,
So the situation is that, well, I mean, we pretty much said it. The new guy at work wants to kind of get this loan in the group chat, and it's giving OP mad sketch vibes. He says that a lot of, I've never heard this definition of normies, but it was sort of like
normies.
he's like, the chat is a bunch of normies, like grandmas and kids who've never had a job before. And so he was worried for them.
I see.
And yeah, I guess that's fair. So he was like, you can clearly go over, he describes them as naive flock of delivery driver dingleberries, old guys, middle-aged women, and dumb young kids in fairly equal proportions.
Why are they in a group chat together?
Because they're all the pizza people,
Oh,
the pizza
okay.
drivers. And, he was worried that they would be defrauded. And so then I guess he just kind of was like, this screams bad.
Yeah.
And then the guy responded with, oh, I'm just trying to pay rent, smiley face. And he points out that you could go to like Cash Advance R Us or whatever the fuck, I don't know what it's called. And it's like you get the same deal from them. And so it went NTA.
I was thinking it would be NTA too.
Dude joined the job 2 weeks ago and is already asking for 500 in the group chat. That's beyond weird. Your
That is
instincts
a
are
lot.
right.
That's a good
That's a
scam.
lot.
Get a new job every few weeks. Be like, hey, can I borrow $500 from everybody here? Like,
Instead
I'll pay
of working
back.
the job.
I know. Well, I kind of feel like it's like the amount of time you're gonna have to put into that. It's like, yeah, I got a better scam for you, brother. Just do what they tell you to do, and at
Yeah.
the end, they'll pay you to do it.
Ask for shifts,
You
not
know?
money.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah, let me work
Yeah.
my shift and then give you the money for it. Like, no, you can just take my shift.
Yeah,
All right, ready?
yeah.
Yeah.
AITA for moving out of my boyfriend's over salsa.
Salsa. Now, is it the dance or the food? I'm guessing food.
Yeah, because the dance can be much easier to dissuade.
So the food. So then maybe he ate too much of the paste they have in the fridge. He overate it. It was her salsa.
Maybe he made salsa that was so gross.
So
that she's like,
spicy. He
yeah.
gave her salsa that was too spicy. She threw up.
If she had to leave, it's just such a cliffhanger. I'm assuming she's not the asshole.
One more time on the title.
AITA for moving out of my boyfriend's over salsa.
We also don't know it's a she, but I think they're not the asshole. If
That's so heteronormative of you. As a man of history, I need you to do better.
the Greeks.
No, he is not heteronormative. He said we don't know it's a woman.
That's what I said. Yeah.
No, but then he assumed
And
it
I
was,
corrected
right,
myself.
right,
assumed
right,
it was
right,
a
right,
woman
right.
because
Right.
he's a patriarchal. I'm going to assume that it's a man and that the reason is because he was salsa dancing too much. Too much. And the other boyfriend was like, can you not
Yeah.
salsa dance?
Can you square dance or
so
something?"
much. Square dance, tap dance, river dance. And then he's like, fuck you, I'm a salsa dancer. And really it was disrespect towards salsa. And so I am going to say NTA and the other guy is.
Okay. And you say
I say
NTA.
NTA. I assume someone cooked up a bad habanero.
So the result is NTA.
Yes!
But the boyfriend is not the asshole.
But is it a boyfriend? Another boyfriend?
No, it's a actually they never say. So
So we're both
I assume
right.
it's a woman.
We're both right.
She and her boyfriend and some other friends live at her boyfriend's mother's vacation home.
They and her boyfriend.
Correct. Live at the boyfriend's mother's vacation home that they pay rent and they
Okay.
live at legitimately as,
The boyfriend's
as tenants.
mother's.
Vacation home.
Okay.
So they're her second home, whatever.
Got it.
They pay rent to live there. She works at a place where she gets free salsa. She keeps bringing spicy salsa for him, regular salsa for her, keeps them separate because she can't do spicy food. But then every week she
Oh.
goes in the fridge and the salsas are combined. And she's like, who the fuck is combining this salsa? She asks her boyfriend, she asks her roommates, and everybody's like, it's not us. Finally, she gets so fed up, she buys a security camera, sets it up, and catches the boyfriend's mother coming in every week and taking things out of their fridge and consolidating the salsa and just like organizing their fridge. So when they asked their boyfriend,
Thank you.
You're welcome. When they asked their boyfriend to talk to his mom, the mom was like, yeah, I'm not going to stop doing that.
That's her policy.
That some
She was just like,
landlords-
this is my house and I'm just not going to stop doing that. And she's like, but it's our food and we pay you to live here
Dude,
and
some
I can't
landlords-
eat spicy salsa.
They're lucky that's their There's some landlords who are like not relatives at all who are like, yeah, I own this property. I will
Yeah.
continue to pillage your fridge.
Crazy.
So
That's
weird.
unacceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't
So-
mix the sauces.
Now she's like, would I be an asshole for moving
Is she
out
doing this
over
with
the
anything
salsa?
else? Like, is she doing this with mayo and mustard?
It just
Yeah,
says
right?
that she's been showing up while everyone is gone, looking through our fridge and pulling out all sorts of items and going into our cabinet and getting a bigger container and putting the salsa together. I was
takes-
not okay.
She takes all the soaps and puts them together. 19 and 1. You don't need this many bottles. It looks cleaner.
Dude, that is a
She
nightmare
said
scenario.
she says she's making space in our fridge and she is not going to stop.
I think Carla won that round. Good job, Carla. You crushed it. All right, let's go to Money Town, people. Please rate, review, subscribe. Patreon. Patreon.com/AITA pod. Every single episode, ad free. You know you want it. Come on. Come on, get in there. AITA for refusing to pay my friend $60 that I owe him. I, 30M, and my close friend Jake, 29M, have been close for years. Over the years, I've lent Jake so many times. I'm talking $50 here for gas, $100 for a trip, even once $300 when he needed to buy an emergency PS5.
I get it, brother. I get it.
911, what is the nature of your emergency? Sick games. I never really kept track because I trusted him. He paid me back some of it, but he still owes me a decent chunk, which I've never bugged him about. He would occasionally gift me skins in games we play in an attempt to balance the books. A few weeks ago, Jake covered my $60 when I left my wallet at home during a group dinner. I told him I'd get him back, but life got busy and I totally forgot. A few days ago, he texted me, "Can you send me that $60 from dinner?" I apologized for forgetting and said I'd send it that night, to which he replied, "I shouldn't have to chase you for this, man." That rubbed me wrong. I didn't say anything, but it really started to bug me. I thought about all the times I've lent him money and how I never pressured him to pay me back. I've never once sent him a passive-aggressive text or made him feel bad about it. So I didn't send him the money right away and instead told him, "Look, I get that I owe you $60 and I'll pay you back, but let's not pretend this is some one-sided thing. You owe me hundreds and I've never hounded you about it." Jake didn't take that well. He said it's not the same thing because I never asked for my money back. So it's on me if I didn't care enough to get it. So now he's pissed at me thinking I didn't pay him back intentionally and saying I'm deflecting to avoid paying him back and that I'm being a stupid friend. I feel like I'm in a weird spot here. Yeah, I owe him $60 and of course I'll pay it back. But on the other hand, his reaction feels so hypocritical given everything I've done for him financially over the years. AITA. Kind of weird.
I hate this one so much. I haven't hated a scenario yet
Okay, let's talk through
because
that.
it just feels real. It's like this.
Yeah.
God damn it. They're both a little in the right, but I'm like, no, dude, you're not the asshole for this.
This is a classic case of lack of boundaries, if you ask
Yeah.
me.
Yep.
I think so.
I don't think any friendship should be based on a return of anything. We all understand when we're in a certain point of life and like careers and whatever. In my circles of friends, you invest in people not necessarily what they'll invest in you, but you have an understanding that things will come full circle. So like when I make a little more money, I'll pay for something next, but there's no expectations on it because you shouldn't be lending someone money that you then need yourself.
Yeah.
Or like are like counting things in the book. But I understand OP being like, this motherfucker has really got the audacity to like be this aggressive about getting his money back when I've done all these things. But it's like, you shouldn't be looming that over his head because you chose to continue giving him money and never ask for it back. Like, you sound weak.
Yep.
You're saying the other friend sounds weak.
I think
You're
OP
saying
sounds weak.
Yeah, OP sounds weak. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of blurred lines here, but I don't know. I mean, I'm of the belief that if you lend a friend money, really, that's a gift. You know, that's a gift. You shouldn't be in the business of collecting interest or collecting back debts. You know, I just did this. I mean, like, my buddy was here. He's like a struggling actor. And, you know, he was complaining about money, but not in any manipulative way. Just like, how's your life? Oh, you know, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to get a job. And, you know, I picked up our meal because I was like, fuck it, bro. Like, I'm not going to give a shit. And I'd rather you just like, I don't know. I feel like you're going to feel it a little. It was a little pricey. Over here, Donna's in Echo Park. And it was actually banger Italian food, New York style.
I just saw that yesterday.
Yeah, it's really good. But yeah, I don't know. I think like, I'm trying to think like, if the next time I see him, am I going to have some kind of expectation? And I really wouldn't, because I guess I kind of subscribe. But like, people can abuse that sometimes, and it does hit a point where it's like, well, like, now you're kind of spitting in my face, and I don't know if that's kind of what's happening here, where it's like we're going back and forth. It's like just such a clear double standard that he's calling out now, right?
I just relate to OP so much. I remember reading in psychology school, class, whatever, that there's like people who are very aware of like, that guy owes me $5, 10, whatever. Like they have like sort of insecurities in their friendships. And then there's like people who, exactly what you said, it's like, well, we're amongst friends. This is basically a gift. Or yeah, I'll loan you some stuff, but it'll come back my way too. The OP seems to have some semblance of that. He's like, I get some skins in the games. I get what, he's like, it all evens out. He only really does like the calculation once this other guy's like, hey man, $60 is $60. You got to pay me. And he's like, you out of your mind? Like, you clearly don't value anything.
Right.
And then the second friend is like, well, it's about this. And you're like, it almost feels like that's conjecture. It almost feels like you're looking for a scenario to be like, well, you didn't enforce the debt that you're like, should I have to? What about friendship? What doesn't it go back to this whole thing?
Yeah, I mean, the friend essentially is saying there's a double standard where whatever I owe you, I don't. But whatever you owe me needs to be paid back. And like, obviously that's not how owing works either.
No, not at all.
Right? Like,
No.
somebody owes somebody else here. Like, this doesn't really make any sense.
An emergency PlayStation, that feels like two words that don't go together.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it was kind of a bit. I could see like, bro, Grand Theft Auto 5 or whatever. You know, I don't know what's the big hit PS5 game these days.
But even then, it's
Skibbity
like that's,
Toilet 2K. I don't know what the kids are playing.
That's your PlayStation.
I mean, it's a really nice thing. I think that's an inappropriate gift. I mean, that's too much.
That's what I'm saying, and he should have followed up and been like, "Pay me for the fucking PlayStation." Like,
yeah.
I get that money is weird, but it is what it is, and it's weird for everyone, and it's uncomfortable for everyone. But just say the things. Just ask for the money back if you need the money back.
No, there's some part of like, that's a perfect example. Like that friend that's being shitty and borrowing all the time. Oh, you lost your what? Don't worry, I got you. $60. See, it goes both ways. That's what you're supposed to do in that scenario, even though you're clearly in debt a bunch.
Yeah. And you're only paying $60 towards your $700 tab.
That's the part I can't get over, where I'm like, your pet's pennies on the dollars for that debt, and you're still like, please, my interest. Like, what are you doing?
It's like, bro, come on.
I think this is a good way for OP to understand what it is and stop lending this person money.
Yeah.
Like, if they're going to be shitty about it like that, then stop lending him money.
Yeah.
You now know that this relationship is not the one that evens out.
Yeah.
Giddy up kitty, top comment, NTA. Jake's a hypocrite and an unblushing user. Time to make him grow up, OP. Send a new text. Hey, Jake, this whole thing is leaving a bad taste in my mouth. We both know that you owe me way more than $60. I haven't been hounding you, but that doesn't change the fact that you borrowed the money you said you'd pay back and you owe me. It's been bugging me. My best calculation is you owe me is $450. You know, I'm offsetting my debt of 60 against your 450, so now you owe me 390. And just so things don't get any weirder, please understand I can't lend you any more money until that 390 is paid off.
See, I feel like operating from that perspective is assholey in the first place. Oh, you know what? Just deduct it from my debt. Unless that's like an ongoing thing. But for the other friend, being like, you know what? Let me put that towards my debt. That would have been the ultimate move. That's how you know this guy sucks.
Yeah.
You're saying that Jake sucks.
Yeah, the guy that borrowed the 60. Or no, sorry. The guy that's like calling in the 60.
The friend.
Yeah. That's Jake.
Because he really could have gotten this incredible deal and just been like, no, don't, whatever. And instead he's like, it's about the principle.
He's like, let's call it even.
Yeah.
The
He
thing
could have done
is-
that. Could have done that.
This is cool because I feel like this is a metaphor for resentment. Like we let people
Yes.
get away with a little bit of debt. I think that's reasonable, right? Because you don't want to be like you're keeping score because you trust that the other person will get it back, right?
Yeah.
So like, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an example. I mean, I think one example that happens in comedy is like if you book someone on your show and like there's mutual respect. I mean, it can get a little dicey.
Yeah.
It's dicey.
What to then feel like they need to book you?
Yeah.
Oh, I
kinda.
don't agree with that at all.
Okay, well, let's not get into that.
Okay.
My point is there's a little bit of leeway that you give someone, right? You're not instantly going to call on a debt. That's harsh. Like you might pick up lunch for your friend or do them a favor, pick them up from their surgery, you know, something like that. And it's a little bit of debt, but like, then they're like, pick me up again. Now it's like, well, I hope you're starting to feel this.
It also sounds like they're different monetary positions.
Yeah.
So the thing is that I think you don't want to let that get too high. And I think actually putting into money values, I feel like $100 is kind of reasonable for someone to owe you $100. But once you kind of hit that threshold, it's kind of like, well, like now we need to call it out.
Right,
And I actually do think it's asshole-ish to yourself, and it's bad for the relationship. So it's suboptimal to let big debts build because you're not going to be able to not resent the other person.
Yeah.
Now, money is real, so I do think if you have like an insane amount of money, this
Is
number.
it?
Well,
Just kidding.
to the extent it is.
I love lording over a debt
Yeah.
on somebody though. I don't pay me back actually.
That's so
You like
babu.
lording it?
I
That's
pre-
so
I
babu.
prefer if someone's like, give me $500. I'm like, we'll work something out. We'll find another. There's got to
You
be
wanna
another
do
way.
it?
He's like the
But if-
godfather.
you
I'm
literally
gonna
that.
call on
Because
you
then
for
you
a
can ask
favor.
them for terrible things. But if they just have $500, you're like, I guess I get my money back. Like,
I think you're endangering the relationship. For those of us who money is real for, I didn't know Carla was an heiress over here from her fucking castle. I think 100 is a pretty reasonable thing where I'd be like, yeah, you know, whatever, you need $100. But
that's a
like,
great point.
it feels like once you get past that, it's like you're potentially going to damage your relationship, and you should really try to avoid it as much as possible.
I think this even goes beyond money too, which is like
That's what
I
I'm
had
saying. It's a whole
situation
metaphor,
like
right?
this with my friend, and one time she was like, "Can you drive me to?" This is why I asked if it was a bonus episode because I was like, I don't know, I want to tell the story. She might listen, but she was like, "Can you bring me to Burbank Airport?" And I was like, "You live in NoHo and I live in Highland Park, so I would literally be passing the airport to come pick you up to drive you 15 minutes to the airport." And then she responded and said, "Well, I drove you to LAX last time you went to LAX." And I was like, "Well, that's because we lived near each other and LAX is farther away." I was like, "I will literally just," she was like, "I'll pay you $20." I was like, "That's how much the Uber from your house to Burbank Airport would cost."
Take the Uber.
And so,
You're
and she was
getting
like,
the
and to
20.
her, it was the whole like, "Well, I did you a favor and now you're not returning it." And I was like, "But this favor, like, is this how you want to cash in your very like favor? Like, this seems like a dumb favor to cash in because you're not gaining anything besides completing the transaction that you've been holding on to." And so I was like, "No, I'm not doing it." And I said no. And then the next day she apologized and she was like, "Hey, I really don't want our friendship to be tit for tat. That's not why we're friends.
Yeah.
I apologize. You know, I'm just like hurting for cash and this and that. And what you said made sense." So we worked it out, but neither of us have asked for rides to the airport since then.
It's, over.
But it was like a minute where I was like, why are you just trying to like cash in this thing that's really doesn't make any sense. It's just for you.
Yeah, I think with fairness, I mean, obviously money is money, but when it's things like that where things start to get, I think it's a feeling thing. And like eventually if that you want to not let the debt or the emotional debt build too much. And you just got to call it out like, hey, I just kind of feel like, I did all this for you. I don't feel like it's reciprocating. And I think a normal person would just say like, oh, okay, like let me take you out to lunch.
Yeah.
For instance, my friend has let me had 2 events at her apartment. So it's like a great little apartment. And she's like, I need a cat sitter. Of course, I was happy to volunteer. I haven't cat sat in a while.
Oh,
and
that cat is the best too.
And Fig is a great cat.
So cute.
And right? And super friendly and fun cat. So I was like happy to do it. And, I'm sure it's going to be easy as hell. I mean, it's a cat. But like one time I pet sat a husky and that shit, I had no idea. That was a full-time job. That was a full-time job in Big Law. It's a horse.
Yeah.
It's a horse that has shit to say, bro.
Yeah.
Like, so, and I kind of feel like after that situation, I was like, oh, actually, like, no, you do owe me because what was that? You did not warn me. So I think it's a feeling thing and something that things work out, but I don't know. I feel like $100 is a reasonable limit. Let me know what you guys think. Nonetheless, in this situation, I feel like OP like really normalized this, and I do kind of feel like.
What's being a reasonable asshole? Is that just stern?
Yeah.
Is that just being stern?
Yeah, stern or harsh? I don't know what I'm at here. I'm kind of stuck.
I don't know. I feel like OP. I think I'm at everybody sucks, or really maybe even NTA, because I feel like it's up to OP to just be like, I'm going to pay you this $60 and I'm going to retain this information and I'm never going to lend you money again. I'm never going to get your money back. I'm never going to get my money back. I'm going to just put it to peace, but I'm never lending you fucking money ever again. And this is never going to be a situation again. Maybe that's just me and the way I cut things off, but I'm just like, I'm taking people at face value, baby. Like, you just show me who you are.
Yeah.
Great. I'm not lending you any money anymore.
It kind of becomes like AITA for running a horrible bank. Like, no, you're not the asshole, but like they're kind of not the asshole either. Like you're the shitty bank.
And all the shitty bank.
Yeah.
Why did you let yourself run a shitty bank? Like that's kind of on you.
Damn, this is like the 2008 crisis.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there's no doubt that Jake is an asshole, though. I think. To be like, well, you never asked your money back.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, bro.
And he's being unempathetic. I kind of feel like I feel comfortable giving this not the asshole Jake
NTA.
NTA.
That's how I'm going.
Guys, please rate, review, subscribe. Join us on Patreon. Babu's married. Here we go. Would I be the asshole if I, 34M, pay off the mortgage without telling my wife, 33F? During the holidays, a close relative of mine graciously offered to pay off our mortgage after a business deal resulted in generating wealth. They were wealthy before the business deal, now extremely wealthy. Yeah. They have a private jet. I threw that in there. It's fun, though. They got a pool filled with milk and Fruit Loops. My wife is not comfortable. The milk refreshes. Calm down.
What are we spending our money on here, Richie Rich?
My wife is not comfortable accepting the money. Her stance is that she has always worked for everything and never been handed anything. I admire her drive and want to respect her wishes, but it's a lot of money. We're comfortable financially, but this would obviously allow us to save money each month. Our mortgage has about $250K left at 6% interest. Lovely. Both my wife and I contribute a portion of our paycheck to pay for expenses, but I handle most of finances. My salary, 3x hers.
Trend.
Would I be the asshole if I accept the gift without telling my wife and transfer each month's mortgage payment into our brokerage account? Edit, for context, we're roughly the same age as this relative and hang out with them on a semi-regular basis.
Yikes.
I mean, I actually have had this talking point for a while. I mean, this is giving like, I think this is a very toxic capitalist thing they put into us. Like, I earned it and you got to earn it. And I earned it, and nobody helped me. And this thought is also, I think, it's a thought terminating cliche too for like understanding other people, right? Because it's like in this world where I earned it and I did it all by myself, everyone who isn't in a good place therefore didn't earn it, and they couldn't have been the victim of any kind of a broader system. So it's kind of like this clearly ridiculous thought, which like obviously the real world I think is a mixture. It's like, well, there are systems that help people and disempower other people. And there is individual responsibility, which is powerful, but realistically, you kind of need a little bit of both to succeed, huh?
Yep.
Oh, you built an app? Is that what you built? Oh, you needed the internet for that, didn't you, motherfucker? Did you make up the internet?
Yeah.
Wow.
You know?
Right.
He's not wrong.
Right?
I pay my mortgage.
It's easy to say. I've been there with my wife is exactly that person who's like on a logical level understands that like all of this shit is conjecture. All of this is like society has hammered you with nonsense. And yet, because she does come from a weird circumstance and had to work for earn all these things and whatever, there is a part of her that's like, can you imagine if we accepted that gift? What would we be indebted to? What would happen?
Right.
Whatever. And you go, only poor people think like that. Wealthy people, they don't think about money. They're just like, of course I took someone else's money. What do you mean? I would hate to risk my assets. Like that's their relationship to money isn't the same as us who are like, that's the lifeblood of the economy. And this, they're like, no, we made it up to fuck you over. What do you
Right.
mean?
Yeah,
and we'll keep
exactly.
doing that.
Yeah, we literally burn money when it gets too old.
Yeah.
Yeah, what?
They take it out of
Den
circulation.
of Thieves.
No, I don't know.
Watch it. It's the best
Thieves.
movie ever.
We're not even too old, too tattered.
Yeah, I think the whole thing is, who is this person? It seems like they're the same age, they're relatives, they're close, whatever. But like, what type of person is it, right? Because I have friends who I would be like, yeah, I accept that money and I know that there's not going to be any in debt. Also, as someone who's accepting this gift, you have the willpower to, if they come to you and say, well, do this for me, you could just like, no. I'm not going to do that if I don't want to do it. You know what I mean? So I don't know if I would feel indebted per se, but I feel like it really depends on who the person is giving the money and what
Yeah.
type of person they are. And if you think they would do something like that versus like.
Everyone does everything selfishly. So even if they're the best person in the world, you can assume they're paying off this debt because they're like, it makes me feel good to see you feel good about
Yeah.
it.
Well,
That's
that
great.
sounds like healthy. I mean, I think that's the whole problem is that now we've gotten into this thing where like ridiculous wealth is like almost noble, you know? And it's like, well, no, you're hoarding it, bro.
Yeah,
like
you have
let the
to-
money
yeah.
circulate.
Exactly,
Like you
yeah.
fucking idiots. Like, I personally think there should be no billionaires, and it took me a while to get
Yes.
on board for that. But I actually think it's bad for the billionaires. Hot take.
Yes.
I think
It's not a moralist thing. It's like
No.
you're making yourself a target and people are hungry and you look like food.
They're a target, and I think there are hyper-driven people who just do want to spend their whole life earning money. And I actually think that the current system, all they do is like play financial games, pump up the stock market, and all this bullshit.
They play with fake money.
They play with essentially fake money, you know. And in this case, these seem like some kind of like healthy, reasonable rich people who are like, look, we're ridiculously wealthy.
Yeah.
Because here's the whole thing about money. Like, if you have even probably $100 million, there's really nothing you can't do. You can live off the interest of that money. You can go to only 5-star properties, eat a 5-star meal
Yeah.
every single night, you know, for like a dozen people. You could have 11 kids, you can have 10 kids and a spouse. Like, what are you going to do? Like, why would you need your own yacht? Rent the yacht, Mark. Rent the fucking yacht, Zucks, you piece of shit. Like, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
All that in a total agreement. Where it gets so dicey is that the wife is like, no, I don't want this. And then even though it would be the best thing for both of them, honestly true, you can't do anything behind your partner's back.
Right. Yeah. The lying is asshole. You can't lie.
I'm with you.
with
I'd be like, there's something like like my wife is one of the pickiest eaters in the world, right?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that about her.
She's overcome a lot.
Okay.
But she just knows what she would never describe herself, but she's like, no, I know what I like. And I'm like, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if I ever like lied to her about something, I was like, oh, this is actually chicken or whatever. And then she ate it and loved it. And then I told her that I think we've had this scenario before.
Yeah.
She would freak the fuck out.
Yeah.
Deception. Like that would just be the the thing that she, you know.
Yeah.
So like, I understand that. I've been between these like rock and hard places where you're like, if we just do this thing, it makes our whole life easier. And they're like, yeah, but then that changes me and how I feel about myself and how I look at myself. And they're like, I get it. You're wrong. But that is you. And I decided to be on
Right.
team you. So like, I have to,
Team you.
you know.
I have to go with it.
There's got to be some compromise. I'd be like, what if we paid off half the mortgage so that it makes it easier on us, but we're still working to pay off the rest? You
I
still
think-
feel that indebted
I
to
think
this
this
guy?
is a third rail situation. I think this is like abortion. There's no compromise here.
Yeah.
I feel like you don't turn down something like this because someone has this crazy toxic capitalist propaganda belief that you have to earn everything. It's like you didn't though. That's the whole thing. Is like you didn't earn the roads out there, sweetheart. You didn't earn English. You didn't earn the alphabet. A lot of technology came out.
But do you see her as a victim
You
too?
still are earning things. I think to
To an
say
extent,
that,
but
is
it's
a
like-
little bit.
well,
You're still putting yourself out there. You're still doing the work.
Well,
Like a lot of
I-
people don't even do that.
Well, of course, you earned it relative to other people in the society, but like you were also born into a society that empowered you. Like you could have been born in, in the woods.
Yeah, the
What if
spoils.
this person was? What if this person was born in a village in a different country and made their way to
Well,
America?
Then
and now
I
earned
would
this
change my
house?
answer. If
That's
they're
true.
from a village,
True.
then I would change my like a village with huts and straw
Sure,
roofs.
yeah.
Then yes, I would say.
But that straw didn't just come from.
It was exploited from somebody. No, I see her. Ultimately, everybody's a victim. Not only the people that like get to trick people like her and make them into hardworking automatons, like they seem like the monsters. Everybody involved in this system is a victim. That's ultimately what my
Right, that's it. There's
my
no-
purview
there's
of
no
it. There's no
ethy-
real
Right.
winners.
there's no ethic
Right.
consumption.
Because you look at the rich people at the top, you're like, yeah, you seem happy. Like,
Yeah, like
the portrait of happiness.
yeah,
Like,
you seem insane, and you're
Yeah.
on Twitter all day. There's two people
Yeah,
that refers to you
literally,
now.
literally.
you guys are spending all day on
Yeah,
Twitter, which we
yeah.
all know is the
Yeah, and
path to having the worst day.
and then you look at the poorest people in the world, you're like, they're getting drunk in an alley. You're like, that's fun.
they're so happy.
Compared to a guy figuring out which one of his sons he can suck blood out of to live.
Oh my gosh.
Take me to the alley.
I mean, I agree with you guys. You should run it by the wife, and I guess he could have a conversation. I would sooner say, like, if he was like, you know what, my wife won't let me, and so I'm just going to take it for myself.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say.
Not pay the mortgage off. Further gamble it on more capitalistic endeavor.
There we go.
But also, if he accepted the money as an individual, he could do whatever the fuck he wanted with it
That's
and use
fair
it for the mortgage.
And I don't think it's fair for the wife to say, no, you're not allowed to accept a gift. I think that would be unfair. So I actually do think this I'm leaning a certain way now. Top comment went ESH. Hiding things from wife when she explicitly stated her opinion would make you the asshole, but your wife forcing you to refuse life-changing, no strings attached money from a wealthy relative makes her an asshole. You have the right to accept that money, but you can't lie to her. But wait, did he tell the wife? Oh yeah, wife is not comfortable accepting the money.
That was his little solution is like, he's like, what if I just don't tell her, and then the money that we're supposed to be putting into
He
a
did
mortgage-
tell her because she was not comfortable accepting the money. Her stance is she's worked for everything.
But I know, but the second last line, would I be the asshole if I accept the gift without telling my wife?
Oh, so he has to tell his wife that he's accepting
He
it.
told her that the gift was proposed, and then she was like, absolutely not. We're not taking that money.
and now he wants to do it
So
behind
he goes
her back.
like, what if I just take it and don't tell her? Is that a big deal?
No, she's being unreasonable. You can't.
She is, of
Yeah,
course.
I think
Maybe everyone's
he
the
should
asshole,
tell
though.
her.
But yeah, he should. If he's gonna do this thing, she's being an asshole, sure. But if he's gonna do this thing behind her back, he's also being an asshole.
Yeah.
And maybe everyone can be an asshole.
I
Maybe,
think. Yeah, I guess you're right.
maybe that's what capitalism is. We just have to accept that there's no ethical non-assholery under this.
There's no ethical non-assholery.
It's the lying, right? Because then even when you're like venting to your friends about what an asshole boyfriend or asshole husband you have for accepting a large amount of money to pay off our mortgage, that doesn't sound very
I know.
like you don't have much of a leg to stand on besides the lying. It's the lying that is the bad thing.
Also, the conceit of these people when they're like, we have to earn it. I'm like, can I earn it by sales? Because that's lying.
Yeah.
just lie to you about
really need
We
this
earn it by being
thing.
friends with this dude we have over for dinner and game nights all the time.
He should be transparent. It's going to come out anyway, and then it's
come
going to be a
out.
whole problem.
Sure
He's
will.
like trying to avoid a conflict. So yeah, I actually am at ESH. I think that's clean.
Agreed.
All around.
Guys, thanks for listening. Here's one more money sitch. AITA for not splitting my winnings to my friend. So essentially, a bank was doing a promo where if you refer a friend, both parties will get a scratch card that could give you out 5 cash prizes.
It's like one of those.
I love
Where is this legal? Where a bank gives out scratchers?
This feels like Europe, honestly.
Is that okay? 10, 20, 30, 90, 300, and 2,000. Initially, I was hesitant as I've done this at other banks, and only got a measly $5, but he spammed me and persuaded me to do it. I got lucky. My scratch card, $2,000. I was happy and ecstatic about the money and wanted to put it into my savings. When I told my friend about it, he was happy for me, but a few hours later, he wanted half. I said no way, since he did receive some money through referring me. After back and forth, I said I'd give him $200 as a courtesy, but he rejected it and said it wasn't enough. He insisted without him, I wouldn't even get anything. I told him either take the 200 or get zero, and he started calling me slurs. Slurs.
Whoa.
Multiple slurs, I guess.
Yeah.
Slurs that didn't even apply.
Yeah.
Now I feel bad and just want some opinions about it.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
This isn't even sour grapes.
No.
Right? Because sour grapes is you didn't get what you wanted and then you insist it's bad. This is your friend got what you wanted and you insist it's yours.
This is bitter bananas.
Like, right?
This is bad.
Well, the thing is, you didn't have your friend sign up. Like, he had his friend sign up, not OP, but OP's friend had OP sign up so that they could get a scratcher, right?
Yeah.
And their scratcher obviously didn't win anything, but OP's got the 2,000. So it's like, that's just luck, baby. That's what gambling is, honey.
They each got a scratcher.
Yeah.
They had to make a deal
Yeah.
explicit prior where they said, we're splitting the scratch.
200 is generous. I think I would feel a little like, damn. But like, you can't.
200 was a good deal.
I would have taken the $200.
They should have taken 200.
10% finder's fee.
Right.
great.
That's literally 200 more than you had prior to that.
It's so funny how money will just change whatever your previous thought about your relationship was, like a small dispute over money, and you're like, I'll kill that guy. Slurs. You Kazakh
Slurs.
fuck or whatever.
I mean, we've been talking a lot about money here, and let me say, I used to really hate myself. I owned 10 Bitcoin at one point. It was all I had. It was like all the money I had. And I sold it because obviously it was all I had, and I didn't make a lot of money. It was before Bitcoin, but it was before. Now your grandma's like, we should get the Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It was way before that, and I made a marginal amount of money on it. And I used to really hate myself for it. And I'm like, how could I have done that? But I'm like, I was desperate. Like, that was all my money.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Like, how could I have done that? Because it was worth so much more.
Yeah,
later?
it was so foolish. And I was like,
Yeah.
well, first of all, I was young and inexperienced. But mainly, I'm like, yeah, that was all of my money. Like, that's so scary.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think that's the thing where, like, it's easy to judge people. But I'm like, yeah, if this guy has, like, $2,000 in his bank account and his friend just won $2,000, like, it's understandable. And that's why I do say money is real and it, you know, it matters.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think 2,000 is it's not like a life-changing amount of money, but it can be life-changing in a lot of ways, where if you didn't have rent that month, instead of texting your pizza works group chat for $500, you win it on a scratcher.
I love that you put it that way too, because it's like, is $2,000 life changing? Well, if your life right now is trying to find fucking rent,
Yeah.
then I would say that it is life changing,
life-changing.
because your concept of your life is so short term.
Yeah.
Right? You're
It's day to
panicking.
day.
You know, whereas if you have, you know, savings and you're comfortable, $2,000 is like, yeah, it's $2,000. It's nice, but it literally won't affect how I do anything. You know?
Yeah. I think if OP's friend is like well off and doesn't need the money and it's just for
OP's friend is not well off. OP's friend is telling him about a bank scam. he's like, buddy, I need the $7 kickback stat. Will you sign up with this fucking program?
Sign up.
Yeah.
he's not the first friend, I feel.
And I think the really gripping detail here is that, like, at first the friend is happy. He's like, oh yeah, you won. And then a few hours goes by. He's like, actually, where's my cut?
Yeah.
Meaning somebody told him. He told somebody else. He's like, yeah, you know, Jeff did it. And he won $2,000. He's like, and what'd you get out of it? He goes, oh, I was supposed to.
What? Yeah, I think 200 was a good deal. AITA for not splitting my winnings to my friend. I honestly feel like 200 was reasonable. I feel like most people would have that feeling. Like, he told you about it. Yeah, it was luck, but like, he kind of brought you in. Like, if I was like, you guys, you got to play the Powerball today. Like, I don't know, wouldn't you feel something toward me if you won $100 million after? You're like, God, I wouldn't have done that unless Danny insisted.
I think it would be more the fact if you bought my ticket for me. Like, oh, here's your $3 Powerball ticket.
If right after
Scratch
this
it.
recording, I was like, you guys, let's go to Donuts, Ice Cream, Hot Dogs, Cigarettes. You got to get a Powerball ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then you won $100 million. You wouldn't hook your boy up for
Oh, of
pushing
course
you
I
into that?
would.
Right. Like,
Of course.
I think it's natural.
But what if we won?
I don't think I
What if
would.
you pushed me into the Powerball? I only got two numbers right. I won $60.
Then I'd be like, buy me a donut.
Well, that's what I was going to say is I mean, if I won $300 million, I would do a lot of things for a lot of people, including myself, obviously. But like,
Would you buy me a nice horse?
I probably wouldn't buy you a horse, but I'd buy you a new little horse painting for your wall.
Jesus,
I'd buy you, like,
Carla.
What do you need a horse for? You going to eat it?
Who cares? You have $300 million and you're buying me like a $40 horse painting?
I just feel like if you said, would you pay my rent for a month? I'd be like, yes.
Oh, okay, great.
No, I would buy him like 10 incredible properties and then just like have him drown in the tax.
Make him a slumlord.
That's a great
Never
prank.
having to pay off.
And then you'll be indebted to Badu forever.
Yeah. AITA for not splitting my winnings to my friend. I think I'm ultimately at not the asshole he is.
Agreed.
He was
Not the
offered a
asshole.
reasonable deal. We're going to wrap up here on a listener submission. You can submit on the subreddit, reddit.com/r/AITA pod. I'd love to see more submissions. We're getting a lot of juice in there. Check it out, folks.
Get active.
Love it. Get active.
Activate.
AITA for using the trash bins of neighbors. I frequently walk my two small dogs around the hood, always carry and use poop bags to clean up. Some neighbors choose to leave their trash bins near the curb, making them easily accessible. In my opinion, it's an eyesore, especially since these bins could easily and should be stored out of sight in either the garage or backyard. But because these ugly bins are so accessible, I discard my sealed dog poop bags in them if I happen to walk past one on our route. Recently, someone posted on Nextdoor app they were sick of dog walkers tossing the dog poop bags in their bins, and they were planning to set up cameras to catch the culprit. I commented that they could have a little more decorum for the neighborhood and store their bins in the garage or backyard like everybody else. Of course, they called me the asshole AITA for using the trash bins.
This feels so personal to me.
Yeah, I'm like triggered in so many ways.
Wow.
Like,
This feels so personal to me for two reasons. I am walking my friend's dog a lot, and we do that, but she lives in a neighborhood where people don't have their bins out all the time. So I think the appropriate thing is putting the poop bags in bins that are about to get picked up, but I would not appreciate someone putting a poop bag in a freshly dumped bin because then there's flies, there's a bunch of shit you have to deal with, right?
Even if the bag is sealed?
Even if it's sealed, yeah, because then once you throw other trash in, it could break. There's so many ways I could go. Second reason I feel really personal about this is because my mom lives in a town where I grew up where it's actually illegal to have your trash bins out in front of your house except for on the day of trash.
You get a ticket or
and it's
something,
because
or-
of flies, sanitary issues, parking, making available parking. And so like I understand the not wanting the aesthetic of a trash bin always being outside, and that's why they said it was ugly or whatever, but I don't know. I don't think that's where I stand is like you throw it in there if it's about to get dumped. If it's not, you
Which
shouldn't
it
put it
is.
in
It's
there.
on the street. So you're defending OP.
But they're saying that some people leave them out all the time.
that is
well, that's the
infuriating.
person they're throwing them away in. The ones that are out.
Exactly. Yeah. The one.
Yeah,
that
but they only
late-
get picked up once a week.
Yeah. So
But if you
what's-
leave it out all week, it's not
So that's
about
my-
to get picked up.
So you're saying that they need to respect the trash bins that they're leaving out on the street?
I think yes, on the days that it's not getting
I can't
picked
believe
up.
you're saying that. Okay, what are you saying?
I can see it on. Yeah. I don't know. I think if your trash can is out in public, I'm using it.
I do agree with that as well. Yeah.
You
using
can't agree
it-
with both, Carla. Which
I
is
can
it?
agree with both.
No, they're contradictory.
Just look for a full trash bin or carry it home. It's not that hard to carry a fucking poop bag of your dog's poop home.
If there's a trash bin on the street or on the sidewalk, publicly accessible, can I use it whether or not it's a trash day? Yes or no? You can't agree with both.
Yeah.
You can't make me answer that.
I can't make you answer. No, that's true.
true.
You can weirdly plead the fifth.
Yeah.
I
You can
plead
live
the
in your
fifth.
perfect fantasy.
No,
world.
Carla, come on. There's a trash bin on the street. You're telling me someone's an asshole for using a trash bin on the
No,
street?
I don't think
Thank
that they're
you.
an asshole.
That's absurd. Thank God you don't think that. Of
I
course.
just feel like there could be asshole situations where
Sure, there could be.
But it's also like take your trash bins into your
Yes,
backyard.
you left your trash bin out on the street, and I put trash
All right,
in
you
there.
got me.
I put trash in there.
Yeah.
I'm an ass. No, and I don't know what it is. I'm sorry. Thanks for listening, and thanks for commenting on the subreddit. But the subreddit is telling me that they're an asshole for this, for putting trash in a trash can. No, reasonable Buffalo too. You're not reasonable. You're not reasonable. I don't know what flies in your bison ass culture. I won't call you an asshole for putting poop bags in a garbage can because at least you're disposing of it. I'll call you out for being an asshole for your behavior on Nextdoor. Why? They have a complaint about something you're doing that is technically illegal in some areas in just bad form. Then you have the balls to reprimand their decorum? That's delusional. Bite your tongue and go about your day. No. No, if that is the norm in the neighborhood, that's the culture of the neighborhood to not leave the trash cans out all fucking week, and they're the one person goddamn doing it, that is a lack of decorum, and I think what OP commented was perfectly reasonable.
I also I've never been one of these people who I'm like, oh no, my trash can is dirty. It's covered in poop and vomit and flies.
Oh, babe, the trash can.
Oh, the dirtiest thing in the world is covered in dirty.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
He got the dirt dirty.
Yeah.
Mother.
It's like you don't have to hose it down. It can smell like death. It has a lid.
I think so. I would say, look, murder's wrong. Murder's wrong. Putting a body in a trash can? Putting a body in a trash
Fine.
can?
Also
I mean, it's
wrong.
trash. It's trash.
Fine.
If it's trash.
Put it in the earth. It'll
it's all
decompose
zero-sum.
and go
No,
back
no.
into fertilization.
I used to think that way, yeah, but it's all zero sum. Not all dog poop is good for the.
Oh, I thought we were still
whatever,
talking about bodies.
Well, yeah. Bodies, they're always good for any plant. But poo, I've heard. No.
Yes, poo's not good.
It's not great. And so then it's zero sum. Where do you want this poo? Because people are lazy. They're not going to take it all the way home. They're not going to take it to the poop incinerator or whatever.
No.
I do.
They're going to leave it in front of your car or in your trash can. Which do you want? Where is it? Going on the street?
In the trash.
There's so much dog shit. To be fair, it might be human because it's Los Angeles, but there's so much dog crap that gets all over the sidewalk that people don't pick up. I will never ding someone who properly disposes their dog crap. I don't
Yeah.
care what trash can it is.
That's true.
Even honestly, if it's a recycling bin that's not super clearly labeled, I would let that fly because I'm like,
That's not good.
It needs to be blue.
What?
It needs to be blue,
Yeah.
the universal color for recycling.
Just that
bin.
little
Oh, I
triangle
thought you
bullshit's
just meant
not
like
enough.
it was blue, but it didn't have the thing on.
No, if it's blue, that's
recycling.
That's recycling
how we
because
know.
Earth is blue. We got it. It
And
was good.
technically,
They chose
poop's
that.
not even supposed to go in the trash either. It's supposed to go into the compost bin now, the green ones.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's confusing. The whole trash. Like, is a tray compost? Like a paper tray? Is paper compost? Is it recycling?
Paper feels like it comes from the world. But paper's recycling. Fuck,
That's
dude.
what I don't know, man.
But it's only
That's what I
recycling
don't
if it's not
know.
dirty. But here's the conspiracy, guys. We're separating this for nothing. It's all
No,
going to
it's
the same place.
Not a conspiracy.
In the landfill where they dump all of our bins, but they make us humans feel like we're making a difference. And I'm not saying we're not, and you should still recycle, but composting is the real win.
The compost is the real one. Now there are recycling centers. This is crazy.
Yeah,
There's
that you
private
bring it
recycling
to.
center. Not even just that you bring it to. That like the cities sometimes will contract out their recycling.
Okay.
What's weird is they don't. Why isn't that just the government's thing? Recycling almost disproportionately helps benefit like corporations that use the recycled
100%.
product or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm saying get some dog poop in there. Let's fuck these corporations up. Let's get more poop in the product.
I can't argue that. I can't argue that.
I can let there be one billionaire who his whole business is recycling centers, but he doesn't make us do that. 2 bins is enough. When they put out 3 bins, I'm like, guys, I can't do this right now. I'm not even at work.
It's the one thing I do respect about
It's
other
too much
cultures, which
thinking.
is funny. That I'm not. Have you ever been to other countries where like they have 5 bins or something?
No.
One just for eggs.
Dude, even in Romania, which
Egg
like
bin?
No, I'm kidding.
No, don't make up good lies like
Romania's
that. I
not
want
a
that
great
world
place,
to be
but
real.
like my grandmother who lives in the most economically depressed part of Romania,
Yeah.
she had the city checks her bins and is like you
5?
put this in the yellow one instead of the green or whatever. Maybe she has 4, but you can get like tickets for putting like recycling in the regular trash,
Yeah.
or like metal and yeah.
Even in Massachusetts, my brother, they have to.
Because the government does the recycling there.
Yeah, and also like my brother's trash in Massachusetts, they have to purchase a city-approved trash bag, so they can't just be using any
trash
willy-nilly
bag, yeah.
trash bag. They have to use the state-sponsored trash bag or city-sponsored, I think it is.
Sure.
But which is crazy.
I mean, I'm joking. I'll put it in your bins. But let me say this: fuck the corporations for how they package things. There's too much packaging. There's got to be a better way. All the plastic and all that bullshit.
nonsense.
You know, It's
I agree.
bullshit. Anyway, AITA for using trash bins of neighbors. I hope I brought you guys over. I thought our subreddit was a little crazy on this. I'm at huge NTA, and they are keeping your trash bins out in a neighborhood where everybody else puts them away. Like, yes, you're being an asshole just because it's not illegal. That's like such a stupid idea. Like, oh, am I the asshole for like blaring my music? Oh, the cop said it was fine. It's like, no, you're like
Yeah.
bothering everybody,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed.
Guys, thanks for joining me. This has been really fun.
Thank you for having us.
Pleasure.
Let's go buy some lottery tickets.
Scratch them.
Scratch them, extract them.
There we go. Extractors. Do you guys want to do any plugs?
Just
You can't extract it.
oh damn! At FUN_KEE. That's my Instagram. And if you're in LA, come to my show. That is also in my bio. FU Variety Show.
It's very fun.
Yeah,
I've
Radu came recently.
Oh, you came?
I did, yeah.
He got impatient during the origami portion, so he left. But I understood it, and
Oh.
I took the feedback.
Okay, I didn't go because I was post-surge, but I helped do a run with the person who taught the origami at the social club. Christian, I helped him do a practice run.
Oh, nice.
And I was like the dumb guy. I was playing the dumb guy. I'm actually really good at origami. I'm really
He was
not.
good at origami, but it's just like everybody else in the room was so bad at origami. He didn't know what to do with them not.
So
It took
hard.
a while. It took a while. Everyone's like, "Wait, you're going too
Yeah.
fast," and it took like twice, maybe 3 times the time.
Let's
I
redo the
allotted.
crane.
Yeah.
The crane's not doing it for me.
Yeah.
Come up with something simpler, Japan. We're too stupid.
It's
in
really not that
America.
hard.
It's hard, Carla. It's hard.
It was really
It's hard.
hard. Yeah.
Okay, don't come at me with that paper privilege. Radu, plug us up.
Hey, I produce a podcast called The Executive Buffet. It used to be called Live to Tape, hosted by Johnny Pemberton. It's on YouTube and all the places where podcasts are go. You won't see me on it because I'm the producer, but you'll hear me sometimes. And this is part of the plugging effort. Go listen to it.
What are all the clips I've been watching of you? That one you are in.
That was a podcast I recently did called Zio Fucks Given. My friend Zio Neo does an incredible, weird, very interesting interview style podcast.
Oh, and you were just a guest.
I was just a guest on that one.
Oh, so you don't have your own podcast? You're just a
I produce other people's, and
produce other
I guest on. I'm a regular on a lot of the people's.
shit, bro. You're a regular here. I hope. Love to have you.
Great to
Have
be
you
here.
both. All right, guys. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time. Much love. Bye.
Bye.